Hello everyone. It's Tuesday. We're working on the biggest canvas. And I'm going to start by erasing all my chalk lines and let that dry. Tuesday. Look, that helps so much. Gets rid of all that chalk. Missed breakfast during this morning. How are the in-laws faring with Hurricane Debbie? Fine, and I don't suspect there will be anything major with that. Knowing where they live and the historical flooding, I'm not worried about that. Most of the flooding that will happen between now and the weekend for them will be coastal, and that's not... it's like the first 3 blocks off the beach flooding, and they're not in that zone. So, yeah. Now, if there's a ton of rain dropped and it all comes down the rivers later, that tends to be where the area suffers the most and where it has suffered historically. And even then, I'm not super concerned, but it's going to be a matter of keeping an eye on how much rain the area gets and upriver from them, how much rain they get. So things should be fine. So I'm excited about this. I finished up the water last time, and like there's a little bit I might do. Like I might bring in a little bit more of the brightest colors, and I think like right here I might bring some of this violet and pull it into this a little bit. You can't see it, the lip is here. This line comes out too far that way. It needs to be less that way. So I'm going to take some of the purple and probably bring that in a little bit. But when I start doing this, because I haven't done water from like here this way, because I have to reflect this down, I'll work on that a little bit more. And I might bring in a few more like brighter ripples. I don't know yet. I feel like it's needing something, and I don't know. But that's not a problem I have to solve right now. The problem I have to solve today is I have to fill in all of this. My hope is that I finish everything that's not water over here. I don't know if I'll get that far, but that's what I'm aiming for. If I do that, that would be the best. Because that is the bulk of the painting that's left. Because after that, it's just water reflection underneath it, and then any final touch-up stuff I have to do. So I'm happy about it. We have a 17-month resub at tier 2 from Radio Dread. Thank you, Radio Dread. 10 months from Super Yoshi 7. 500 bits from Elvin Scout 44, who says, time to get this train moving. And it gave you kind of a purple mauve color for train. And then we have an 11-month resub from Anna Banana Bread, who is painting their living room. Fun! Yeah, so we're gonna work on this, and I need a lot of green paint. And because we're in the foreground, this is going to be more saturated and stay darker than this is, because this is kind of gray. You can kind of see that. Like the darkest color here is kind of gray, and then this is much darker. We're gonna keep some of this. So I will need green. I do kind of want to draw in the things that sit here, so I know where I need to bring them in. So I need sketch for that. How dead is iPad? Not super dead. Great. So I have pine tree, pine tree, pine tree, this tree, pine tree, this tree. So this guy kind of sits here, and I think I want to put pine tree maybe behind some other stuff. And then we have this tree, this tree, this tree, this pine, little pine, and then big pine over here. Okay. How do I want to do this? We're going to start by filling in up here. What do I want in the foreground? Pine. And then somewhere along the line, this is going to get kind of filled in this way, and then we'll bring in maybe some grasses. I just have to decide exactly what I want this to look like, essentially. I'm not sitting right. No wonder my back has been hurting. I do need to slide this left more, and I am considering raising this up again. Okay. So that is this area. And I think I want this tree to stand out in the front too. But I want the bigger one. Nope, that's not the right spot. This guy is going to sit behind that one. And there's a glare. Okay. Let's raise up the shelf again. Stay there and don't fall over, please. That would suck. We have a 16-month resub from JF Samela 1, who says, "Good afternoon. Hello. Welcome in. I hope everyone's having a good afternoon." I don't really like this double knob tightening system that this thing has. Okay, come back here. Oh, that's much better. This is kind of a stretch, but this is much more where I need it to be, and so is this. Soon you'll be able to see exactly where all of this sits. So I have this all drawn in, And now it's time to start painting. And what I'm going to do on my palette is I'm just going to put down a variety of greens, carbon black, a little bit of titanium white, some blues, probably some browns. And we're just going to do some mixing on the canvas as I paint. And that way we can start to bring this in and build it all together. So I have carbon. You can go hang out over there. I have brown. I might need to grab some Jenkins green off my shelf because I'm almost out. It's very empty. And maybe some phthalo. I can put away some of these blues. I do not need them now. We'll need this. Let's look through my greens. Okay, here's a different phthalo. Yeah, I might need to bring in some yellow too. Sap green is a good green. You guys are not quite what I need for chromium and permanent. Alright, so what I need, Jenkins, phthalo green blue, and that's it. I need to grab some stuff from over there. Wild. I have 5-ounce tubes of these colors. I know why I have this one. It has the sticker on it. But this one, why did I buy a 5-ounce tube of Jenkins? If it's not a color I use a lot, like primary yellow or titanium white, I tend to buy the 2-ounce tubes. So let's see. Like the size difference here, these are the same color. So I tend to buy these on things I don't use a ton of, or like regularly. But this one I got on clearance when a local art store went out of business in the beginning of 2020. It was like the last time I went out and did anything before the pandemic. And then I don't know why I bought this one. This is a weird purchase. Maybe that was part of it, but it didn't have the sticker on it. Maybe that's why. Object permanence. Where's Mal? Over there. I had to walk around back. So, these are the backups for when I inevitably need them in 5 minutes. What else was I going to say? Do I have a brand recommendation that's below golden? Blick Studio is a good brand, and I know Blick is a specific to Blick store brand. Sorry, I'm asking Steven for water. But something that you can find at basically any art store. Before I start putting paint out, I'm gonna figure this out. 1 second. Acrylic. Liquitex Professional Heavy Body is similar. Blick Studio is going to be cheaper and is decent enough, I think, personally. Utrecht is another decent brand, but I think that's also store specific. Winsor Newton is probably decent too. I'm just scrolling through acrylic paint brands. Why can't we list these by quality? Let's look at professional and student grade, and then it'll tell me better. I do not like Liquitex Basics. I think they're terrible. Amsterdam, I think, is a decent paint. I've heard good things about it. Holbein. Grumbacher Academy is probably a good student set, I think. Those are the ones I would name. The normal idea of like what you should do from what I've been reading in my art knowledge life. I need this too. Anything earth toned is good to buy cheaper, and anything bright and titanium white, you want to buy a higher brand. So like Mars Black, Carbon Black, any of the browns, those are really good to buy like student grade, and then like buy artist grade brighter colors like your yellows. Those are the ones that tend to be a better investment. And things like burnt umber and sienna tend to be cheaper overall because the pigments are cheaper. Okay, I'm putting paint on palette. So like I said, my plan is just to have a bunch of stuff on my palette and float back and forth between it as the mood strikes for all of this, because I don't want to use the same green for everything. Because if I use the same green for the pine trees and the deciduous leafy trees and the grasses, it'll just look, I mean, this does that too, but I did it a little less because there's some green here and it's more blue here. So we do get less variation back here. So I'm just kind of going back and forth with what I have to start to bring all of this together. Some things will be slightly more blue-green, some things will be slightly more yellow-green, some things might have a little bit of violet to them. We're trying to keep that variation. And the more successful at it I am here, I might bring just a little bit into some of this just to make that have some variation too, even though it's further away and we will have less of it. Make those trees pop. Like I was saying last night, it's all about contrast. So if you're painting something dark next to dark, you don't want it to be the same. You won't see the difference, which was my problem with these pines, because it's real dark next to real dark. And what we're going to do is we're going to add contrast so that that no longer happens. Light them up. Gotta see them. A little bit of alizarin. Alright, what am I missing? Jenkins sap, primary yellow, phthalo, white. And I'm putting these all on my palette and not labeling them, which is probably not the smart move to do. Phthalo green. Phthalo green. What were you? You were... Oh no, you're Hooker's green. You're phthalo green. Crimson. phthalo blue, red shade, phthalo blue, green shade, Prussian blue. What's next? Sap green, Jenkins green, yellow, and I don't need to label white. One of the things I did this morning was I figured out what I need to get to ship this painting. And this tube is officially empty. So I ordered staple removers to take the staples out of the back of it. And they're quite embedded, so it's something I'm quite concerned about. Hi.
Want to drink them?
Yes, please. Will you rinse that out and then fill it fresh?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, yellow, and then I have white. All right, so here's a tour of the palette. We have titanium white, carbon black, which is what I put down here last night. This is a little bit of phthalo blue something, and it's mostly dried out. It's a little wet. Down here we have bone black and then raw umber, which is the base color that I've been using in the entire painting. Then we have Prussian blue, phthalo blue green shade, phthalo blue red shade, hooker's green, phthalo green yellow shade, alizarin crimson, phthalo green blue shade, sap green, Jenkins green, and yellow. So all of these I'm going to use to start filling this in, and I'm going to start by mixing up a shade of one of these colors. And which one it is doesn't particularly matter. It's whatever I feel like working with right now. And I think I want to work on some of these trees that are sitting back. Like this tree sits behind this pine, and these ones also sit behind these bushes I'm going to fill in. And then I feel like maybe this pine should also sit forward. So that pine too. Or this. And then some of these bushes get filled in. So I want those to be probably a bit more like middle of the line green. And the pine's probably slightly bluer is my thought. Because I'm thinking of like spruce. Because like a blue spruce is a lot more blue, which kind of brings back to these guys. So that's kind of my thought there. So I'm going to mix up a darker green. So I'm starting with hookers because it's kind of a mid-green. Maybe a little bit of sap in there to make it yellower. And then I'll probably put a little bit of bone black in there just to darken it. And then we'll start bringing this in. And it's still quite dark, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring in a mid-ground for this tree, because I'll bring in a highlight soon.
I also turned the hair down.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Steven got me flowers. They're the prettiest flowers. I'm not going to ask you to go get them. They're downstairs.
Well, we've been married before.
Before.
We've been married before, and we kept doing it. So,
What kind? They're pink roses and sunflowers. There's a Kepler here.
When you keep doing the Mary,
Yeah.
it is customary to recognize that. It's customary to be like, yes, we did this.
They want you to post a photo in mods so they can post it.
Sure. I'll take a photo.
Okay, so there's that first layer. And I think I'm going to finish it before I move on. So I'm just lightening this up with a tiny bit of titanium white, the same green. Sorry, Noah. Can you guys see that? Like, how it's getting there? Okay. Flowers are in the queue. There they go. There they are. Aren't they pretty? They're great. Thank you, Steven.
You're welcome.
Oh, I haven't had a camera problem since the last time you had to mess with it.
Yeah, unfortunately that means nothing.
I know.
I don't know what the problem was. It's fine.
What do you think of the painting, though?
It's very good. Just working on the right thing.
Yeah, the hope is I finish this, and then Friday I can do that. We'll see.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna lay down for a bit.
Okay. I'm going to paint. So I keep mixing some of these same colors together, and sometimes I end up with a little bit more white or yellow, and that's fine because I want there to be this variation. Alright, what do I want to be more yellow? This guy. And then this guy. I don't think it's quite yellow enough, so we're gonna add a little bit more. And then move just a little bit more blue and a little bit lighter. And I went too blue, so we're gonna add some more green back. That's way too bright, oh my god. Let's tone that down a little bit. That's better. Anyway, lighten up these guys with less of the yellow. I might regret adding this. This might be too bright. Let's keep it light, or light-handed. And then we'll do the same with the yellow. Let's make a lighter one of that. What did I make yellow? That one? And this guy, I think. And this guy, I think, was a bit yellow. Okay. Now I'm going to go into the pines with a bit more blues. No regrets, only happy little accidents. How about frustrations? Until we figure out how to make the accident look on purpose. Now here's the other problem, is this is my favorite bristle brush, and now it is wet. And they do not work as well once they've gotten wet. So I'm going to squeeze all the water out, wrap it in a paper towel, and do it again. We can be frustrated on purpose together. All right, you work on drying out a little bit, and we'll switch to a fan brush for the pine trees. All right, so the pines are slightly bluer, so we're going to use more of the greens that are bluish, like phthalo green blue shade, with maybe a little bit of phthalo blue itself. And then say, oh my god, is that very Technicolor? Wow, gross. And then we'll work on making it less Technicolor. And think, we should have probably started with a regular green and then added just a little bit of blue to it so it wasn't as ridiculous looking. Because we're trying to make this more saturated than the left bank, but not this saturated. So if it's green, to tone it down, we'll add a little bit of crimson. That's better. Now we can add a little bit more blue in. Okay, much better. Let's start with this guy. I have to be careful because this is in front. there's too much of a glare, I have to paint it this way. Ugh. So now we can do the same thing with this front pine. Oh wait, I did that one already. Now we'll just lighten it up with a little bit of titanium white. And we'll start to bring those highlights in. Oops, all canvas. I cannot see this at all. Ooh. Don't fall. You're too heavy for this to get supported. Okay. I just remembered I did put a deciduous tree up there. There. Hopefully I don't forget that. I'm gonna have to stand back in a second and see what needs brightened. But I want to finish the grass first, and then we'll stand back and look at it. Maybe this brush for that. All right. Now the grass is going to be the same deal where I pick kind of a green color. And then marvel at how saturated it is. I think I need to switch brushes. This one is too small. I'm also going to use some of these same greens to kind of bring in just some variation kind of on the ground here. Where I'm trying to put this is blending with the chalk into the paint and showing that. I don't want that. Shoot. A little moss on the rocks? Maybe. I have to finish those first, as they are not quite done yet. think if I used another fan brush for something, this would work better here, but I'm not. Instead, I'm just painting grass by hand. Oh, my flashlight's still on. From when I was trying to paint the side of the painting. This is such a fun song. I think instead of doing this here, I think I just need to bring in less grass. Emote dancing party. Omoli music is great. It's very nice and chill. Alright, small fan. What did I want to do with this? Oh yeah. I think there's something too regular about these three. Like, it's too mechanical. I need it to be less that. This bristle brush is still very wet, so I need to find a different one. One of you two, maybe. Was there another art in the queue? Or is it the flowers again? Does Ahmad know? Or Chaz? Flowers Part 2? No idea? Flowers again. Encore. Flowers again. It's warm in here. Radio Dread. Encore, yay! flowers again. I'm just trying to fill in some of these gaps, but not overwhelm it. I also remembered that we have a tree up here. So now I have to figure out how I'm doing this. This is definitely a cheaper brush, as I'm losing a lot of bristles. We have 100 bits from Fire Goddess 1990. Thank you. There's some things I have to change. I think I need to step back and take a look at it. So I'm just going to stand over here. I have 300 bits from Trademark, who says, "Happy anniversary, Mal," and to Steven as well. Thank you. Decided gold was an anniversary color. Shane says, painting looks pretty, looks done to my eyes. How much is left? Well, I'm working on this right bank here, right above the paintbrush handle, like this area. I haven't done the reflection for that yet. The reflection on the left side of the lake is done, but not the right side. I think I should bring some browns in. Everything's too green. There's little things I want to fix. Let me grab a long handle paintbrush and point. So there's like little bits of like the carbon black that shows through where the highlights should be. Like I want to fix some of that because it's a little bit too much. And I think there's just too much green in this whole area. And like I can see individual shrubs, but like it's all the same. We need something to change up this variation. So I'm not 100% sure what I need to do yet. Maybe bringing in some brown. And I don't quite like how this line is so perfect and the same here and then the same here. So I need to vary that somehow as well. But like this area down here, like I would say from this tree left, I really like. But it's everything from this tree right that needs more. So like I could bring in more grass in these areas. That might help a little bit. Oh, look who's back. Kippo. We here to cause troubles. We are here to cause troubles. What you doing? All right, what was I using for the grass? This. Careful. What you doing, baby? Okay, that helped a little bit right there. And both of my fan brushes are too wet, I think. Luckily, I have one more. I think. It's a short handle, isn't it? It is a short handle. So I'm not mixing up a full highlight of this. Kind of more of a medium. And I'm going to tone down. Actually, I'll just bring in a little bit of it over to the right too. There's too much white on this brush, and it's kind of clumped. So once I finish filling in the stuff that I didn't like, I'm going to finish the rocks and then the sand. And then this dark line here on this bank needs a little bit of something. It's too dark. So I think I'm just going to make it slightly more brown. Shoot. Okay, I fixed up all the little things that bothered me. Now, maybe sand first and then rocks. Oh yeah, I have brown. Why am I trying to make it? I have it. Okay. almost out of this as well. So I'm taking my sand color, and I have a few of them here I've already mixed up. A lighter color, which is kind of this light color, and then I have the darker ones, and what I'm trying to do is I'm mixing up the darker ones and adding in shadows right where the sand changes to the grass. And then where the rocks will make a shade as well. Okay, now we can move into the lighter color. And I just made it too blue accidentally. And then we'll lighten it up further for just a little bit more. Okay, sand is good. Now I'm gonna do this little edge of shoreline here because I don't like how dark it is. And then we'll come back over here. It is too boring. Lyrics. Okay, this is what I want it to do, the color I'm using. I just need to do a little bit more, I think. And that brush is too big. Time to switch. You need to be just a little blue, I think. So that helped the left shore. The right shore needs a lot of that yet. And that's fine because that's my next order of business, I think. It's just to add a little bit down here. Now the highlight on the right shore isn't going to come in till I finish the reflection. But the last thing I want to do today is fill in these rocks and finish those up because they've gotten a little painted over in some spaces. And that's fine, I just need to do a little bit of like smoothing on them. So I'm going to start with some carbon and do their shadows first. And then we're just going to move into lighter grays and start to fill in the next one. And we're just going to keep working lighter and lighter. And I might add just a touch of blue to this. All right, I think I have one more highlight I want to add to these rocks. And I think that's good for them. Focus mode, yeah. I was painting rocks. All right. So I think what I need to do is I need to leave it alone because I hit a good time. I like the rocks. I like the sand. I mostly like the greenery. I think I need to do a little bit more work on it. It needs a little bit of something. And I haven't decided exactly what that is. So stepping away before I mess up what I've done is a good move. Because I don't hate what I've done, I just don't love it yet. It's the same way with like, when I was painting the mountain, I didn't love it. I had to work on it. Sometimes it's just a little thing that really makes the piece come together. So I'm just cleaning out some brushes and then I'm going to cover all these paints. And accidentally stick my finger in them. One of the things I'm thinking is I think I need small rocks over here, this way, like some little ones, not a ton. Just to connect the two things. And I know one of the things that will help is after I do the water reflection, bringing in some of these little ripples, the bright ones, in here. That will help. A lot. And the other thing is, once this is dry, I can erase all this extra chalk in here, because that's also throwing me off. The stream has been stuttering? Okay. Another reason. Let's cover up all of this. Got everything covered. All right, so it is Tuesday, which means that tomorrow Steven's going to be playing Subnautica on his channel. Do a shout out to my Patreon supporters. There it goes. So thank you guys, and if you're interested in the perks that come with that, the mod will have the link for you. Is it just the video from, I have no idea. It's not something I am well versed in about why. Besides Subnautica tomorrow, I will be on breakfast stream on Thursday. I will be painting on Friday at 11. I might actually, I take that back. Let's move it an hour early. Let's start painting at 10 because I do have plans at noon. So as long as I am painting earlier, I should be able to finish what I need to finish. Because I can add some more rocks over here to like kind of combine these. I think I want to do a little bit more work here to make this feel more like this. Not a ton. It doesn't have to be the exact same. And then I have obviously all of this to do. Like from here over. And then I may want to do something in here yet. So those are the things I'm going to work on Friday, and I'll start at 10. So, set an alarm for 9 a.m. on Friday. What? Siri, how dare you? Remind me Thursday at 11 p.m. that I need to paint at 10 a.m. on Friday. Siri, you are terrible. I'm gonna have to just go do it by hand. Reminders. New. Paint at 10 a.m. on Friday. No, don't remind me today. Remind me on Thursday night. Okay. She's trying her best, maybe. So it'll be a little early on Friday, because I have some plans. And, Friday night, Steven is doing a special stream, and he's going to announce it Thursday during breakfast stream. So, I will not be there on Friday evening, but, I'm very excited to see about what you guys all think about it, because I'm excited. If you haven't seen the time-lapse for Autumn Night or the Grisai, the 2 autumn pieces I did, those are up on my channel. I have the time-lapse for the Sumi A piece, and I have Redbubble ready to go, but not eBay, so that'll probably be up soon-ish. We'll make sure we announce it, and that one will be up for auction if you're interested in bidding on that, but it's not up yet. I have a little bit more work to do on the computer for it. I think those are all the things. So, thanks everyone for being here. Steven did get caught up on vlogs, so I know there are some coming out today. There's at least one that's already out. And I think that's it. So I will see you all Thursday morning for breakfast stream, and I hope you have a good Tuesday night. Bye.